Okay, guys, we're back.
Welcome
Nicolas
back.
against Jeremy. A matchup we've definitely seen already. Glarb against 4-color combo.
I think neither neither side is happy to see the other deck in this kind of case. I think the Glarb player definitely there are situations where you don't find enough removal for the dorks, and then the mana advantage kind of gets out of hand if he manages to get under your counter spells. And the other way around, there can be plenty of interaction, and if that's the case, then Glarb can also run away with the game. So both decks definitely have potential to just outright win.
We have to add that Nicolas Glarb variants are always very different from what you're used to. Sometimes we see control decks, sometimes we see mid-range, sometimes we see combo, reanimator. It's always a bit switched up, I would say.
Yeah.
Which might make it more interesting here.
And might be also be an advantage for the Glarb player, because
Definitely.
if you're a combo deck and like the opponent definitely will know 95% of the cards that are in the combo player's deck, because these decks are so streamlined. Then again, a slow start here, seeing no Dork turn 1 and Thrasios cast turn 2.
Nice fetch land.
Yes.
With a cool signature.
So this looks like Eladamri's Call mana. Not sure if he does have that. Oh, it is an Orcish Bowmaster.
That's not too bad.
Down at the end of the turn. So suddenly we are live for quite a few lines that involve Court of Calling or some other line 2 victory.
Yeah. Darlington on turn 4.
That is the opposite of what the name suggests.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point we'll get a continuing town, which comes into play untapped if you play it after turn 3.
That would be considered to be the slow mana confluence or something.
Yeah.
In that direction.
And I think that would not be a great card.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We have an intuition that likely searches for. Yeah, we'll see. It really depends on what Nicolas brought together. I'll be right back.
Yeah, very curious to see what happens here. We haven't seen much of anything other than a couple of attacks. Oh, we are looking at a reanimation pile. He wants 2 of these creatures in the graveyard and 1 of them in. I don't. I think the. Interesting. Interesting. I don't think I would have gone with this pile, considering we might not have a show and tell.
There
I
might
mean, if there
be.
is a show and tell, he could be going for that. That might be his thinking.
That's a cool
But if
command
he
tower.
has a reanimation, that's why he's put the Archon in hand. The 2 best, or the creatures that are most relevant, back in the library.
Yeah,
Therefore, he goes for that.
makes sense.
We have a Barrogoyf, an Eldritch Evolution, and I
And
can't.
a DT. That's a demonic tutor.
Ah, yes, that's the Owl Demonic Tutor. That
Yeah.
goes away. So, yeah, I wonder what the. Is there a, like, definite next card to go get
With the Eldritch,
with the Eldritch?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, now that there's a Barrogoyf, maybe you can find a Skyclave apparition to exile it and
True.
continue attacking.
Which would be doing quite a lot of damage.
Yep.
He's at 11. If he gets a Skyclave by sacking, for example, the Avacyn's Pilgrim, not sure if that would be correct. Oh, there's a finale. Is there a line to win with a finale? I don't think so. You could also get Bright Glass Gear Hulk and get a
Yeah.
Swift and a Shuko, or a Swift and a Nomad.
I think the line would be to go for the Bright Glass Gear Hulk, get a Swift and a Shuko, and then
Swift the
and
Barrogoyf
Swift the Barrogoyf.
and attack.
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
I think that would be the best line.
yeah. Because then
In
you have the Nomad in hand with the finale for Nadu if things go south.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So let's see if he finds that line. Green. Sacking the. Okay, so he's not going for the Bright Glass.
So maybe
There's
he
the
goes for the
neutral
Skyclave.
Sylvan Safekeeper.
He has it in the 99.
Yeah, the top card of his library, right? So Sylvan Safekeeper.
Oh, yeah, that's a really cool artwork. Here we go, guys. Okay, I get that question, but Glarb has a much better body. Glarb can play cards from top. Glarb has a filter option. Glarb has the option to include a combo that actually wins the game instead of just potentially winning the game or changing the odds to your advantage. Because Leovold only has Days Undoing and the 4 mana Time Twister. Glab is just positioned much better.
Yeah. Yeah. And Glarb is also like the issue with the Leovold. Like there are a lot of situations where you're not drawing any cards from Leovold, and Glarb is so good because you get to play him and you can usually guarantee yourself a land drop for every turn that Glarb is in play, which makes your development much better.
By the way, Leovold is not a good deck against Aragon because Leovold is boltable, and Aragon plays a bunch of bolts. Galvanic Discharge, Chain Lightning, Bolt, whatsoever. So there are many ways to get rid of Leovold before you even get the Monarch. I get the idea that denying draw is good, also against Kefka, but the same problem against the Grixis card pool. You have access to red, you're most likely not
That is a
having.
blowout.
That is a blowout, yeah.
Yeah, so we see a Glarb surviving, death touching down the Endurance, also having a 3/3 to get rid of the Orcish Bowmaster. And
That's really good. So
yeah,
the Bright
so with the
Glass
Bright Glass
would have been better,
Gearhulk
yeah.
yeah, we would have had set up for combo this turn as well. Which means that the lethal swing might have won the game. Like even if the Nadu line didn't work out against the Abrupt Decay, which it probably wouldn't have, then there might have been the lethal damage.
Yeah. I mean, Matus, the thing with you also you can feature the Jace combo in Leovold 2, of course, but Boatlash is just so much better here with Glarb.
Having consistent top deck information makes the Thought Lash like actually a viable way to win the game afterwards.
Yeah. There's the Damnation.
And now we have a finale, a devastation, and a dream. Which doesn't
And a
seem like
dream.
a very potent dream.
Well,
He could just
you can still search for
finale for
Nadu and
3.
hope.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, decides to go for the finale instead. Not
For
the
the
barrel
endurance.
golf. Interesting.
Wait, what?
He reanimated the endurance.
Ah.
And there comes an Archon. Flashed in.
Interesting. Did he have information about the Oculus?
Oh, that's brutal. And now comes the Axiom. That's brutal.
This, yeah. Where? Ah, he's okay. He's taking the one card out of his graveyard with the Exhume that survives.
Yeah.
So in this case, it survives because when triggers from two players go on the stack at the same time, the active players' triggers go on the stack first, so the non-active players' triggers resolve first.
Last. No, the non-active you said, yeah. True.
Yeah, resolve first. So we have a Court of Calling for 3, which this time might put a Nadu into play.
Or maybe a
I'm not sure if there's
Marauder?
a Fleshbag Marauder.
No,
No,
like
the
the
2
Curse
mana, the one
Marauder.
that
Yeah.
a Curse Marauder that sacrifices a non-token
Could
creature.
be anything. I mean, the lists are very different. Or maybe a Tower Winder. I don't know. Just guessing.
Hello, Letterson. I don't think we've seen a good Absen command zone in the last 5 years. So
Is this our member who's constantly pushing Absan decks? I think he is. You might be Baron Urban.
a Grist is also
Gris is a nice find. I didn't
yeah.
expect that one. I like the constant back and forth here between both players. But as you said, with the Bright Glass lineup, we would be looking at a potential win for Thrasios Ravos already. Due to the fact that
So yeah. With the current board state, Glarb is not pressuring Grist. So we might see this Grist do quite a lot of work. Then again, he only has 5 lands in play.
we see a
So we see
Valgavoth.
is that a Valgavoth?
The last card, the purple one,
Okay.
is a Valgavoth. And
Oculus Underground Mortuary Valgavoth is what it looks like to me.
I can show you. There you go.
And a Thrasios cast. So a land drawn. Not enough. So a very uncastable hand. But a persist to shut down. Oh no, never mind. The Thrasios stays in play. We're probably going to see the Grist, the Grist token sacked.
That's crazy.
But we're very quickly in an unmanageable amount for Jeremy 6, and we're looking at lethal damage from the Archon next turn.
Mm.
And if he doesn't find a creature, then he can't. He has to sack Thrasios into the Grist.
He can even cast Oculus this turn, right?
Tainted Indulgence with. Oh no, he only has 3 cards in graveyard.
3 mana types. Three mana curves. Mana values. Jesus.
Yeah, so now he can sack the. Now he can sack the Bloodstain Mire and cast the Oculus if he wants to. Yeah. So we're probably going to see. Actually, what do we do in this state? We're not expecting another Archon trigger. So, and if he blocks with a Thrasios, there's no way the Grist is going to kill anything. And with the Archon trigger looming, I think you just want to keep your Thrasios in play, right? And what are you finding with the Grist?
I think it's over anyways.
Yeah.
This is an act of desperation, I guess. Because, I mean,
Yes, this is the top 8. This is the semi-final.
Yeah.
After this, we might see the final played. They might split, but you never know until they go for it.
There is the Oculus.
So we definitely have lethal in play.
An Oko. Oko doesn't do the job. Only elking one of the two big reds. And then there's a token, and then there's Glarb. I'm just making fun.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, turn 1 Thoughtseize. This is this is the perfect situation of why I would not want to be running a filter land in this deck.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. Very good
you
example.
didn't get to play your dork turn 1 and you get screwed because of it.
Very true. But now you can cast both Sylvan Safekeeper and a bird.
Wow, and have 1 mana less because of it.
Yeah.
So the Summoner's Pact can go for Nadu. We are well aware of that, but we have no way to find a combo piece for Nadu currently.
It could also go
Now,
for a Devoted Druid, right? If we find
yeah, that's
a
true. That's true. And the
card.
cool thing about Summoner's Pact is that it will only be going for that card in the turn that we need it.
Oh, there's
So
a survival and Thrasios.
okay, so now any top deck creature gets you to Nadu combo,
Mm-hmm.
and we will have to see.
I don't like the situation here because since Nicholas has double information due to Thoughtseize and Git Probe, you have this awkward situation in which you have to go for it because you want to play to win, but all your opponent needs is a counterspell for the Nadu or a counterspell for Nomad, and then they're good to go to interrupt your play pattern. And also, since you have to cast the Summoner's Pact, you might even
That's true.
find a way to. No, not anymore, because next turn there's a Tundra on board. But there are definitely 4 lands to pay for the upkeep trigger.
Yeah.
You would like them to ban Slimefoot and Scree. Interesting. I think the problem about Slimefoot is rather the 99, not the commander itself. I mean, obviously, the interaction with most cards is pretty powerful, especially with Fury and Grief and stuff.
Slimefoot and Squee is a good deck. It's nowhere near bannable, I think. If you look at the top 8 population of the card, of the deck, we are nowhere near where we'd need to be to consider banning it, I think.
I think in that, considering the fact that people are super saturated with Slamfoot gameplay, I think that's not necessarily a good argument. So, what the Thrasios player is currently thinking about is, if I summon his pact for my Nadu,
What happens? Yeah.
I can really bring it in. But if my bird leaves the field, I lose. So if this is some kind of
Not quite. Because he can still safekeeper to hope to maybe flip a land. So there's like a 1 in 3 chance that you don't lose.
okay,
But yeah,
by you mean like floating mana and then sacrificing it to find another land? Yeah, that would be a thing.
yeah, or shroud the bird by sacrificing a land. Oh, but actually no, no. The better thing to do is let the bird die.
Exactly, and then in the upkeep try to.
Yeah.
So he searched for Bright Glass and Nadu.
Bright Glass is interesting, but he goes for Nadu. Yeah.
Yeah, and having a show and tell with your opponent having the information about what's going on. Can you put a planeswalker into play with show and tell?
You cannot.
Yeah, because it says it doesn't work.
Judge.
Judge. Judge.
Show and tell is creature, enchantment, or artifact, or land, right?
That doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Those
doesn't
4
work.
types.
No. Show and tell PV is asked in the French chat.
Hopefully they catch it and get to rewind
Yeah,
it.
they do. They do.
Okay.
It seems they are.
The scrubland
Yeah, the judge is already
to
on
the
it.
graveyard.
That's only awkward for the Tim the Thrasios player.
How did
Because
the bright glass get into hand?
I think it happened.
Oh, there was the trigger
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Oko itself
Yeah,
that put the bright glass in, and then he
exactly.
sacrificed the land to give birds shroud.
And with that, he revealed the Yavimaya. Right?
No, the Yavimaya was the card he drew for a turn.
No,
This
this
card
was
stayed
the,
tapped
no.
safe
The
with
first trigger was the Bright Glass. The second was the Yavimaya.
No, the first trigger was the bright glass. The second trigger was the underground sea.
So he sacrificed the Scrubland?
He sacrificed the scrubland to
Okay.
give the birds
Okay.
shroud.
Yeah. Okay.
and
Good.
flip the underground.
Yeah. Fine. But the only player that suffer from this whole setup is Jeremy now because
Why?
he has to revert everything that happened.
Yeah, he has to revert everything that happened, but Nicholas isn't going to be taking back casting the show and tell.
Yeah, that's true. So
Which
if he
means that
if he has
very
no
likely,
other, yeah,
he has nothing else in hand, and he will have to let the show and tell resolve with the Nadu in play. Yeah, this is all tapped. The Oko goes back to hand.
and the bright glass should also go back, right?
I think they are not at that bit yet, it seems. But yeah.
That's awkward.
It is. Very much so.
But I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I would not expect this at this level of play.
Yeah, but I was thinking about the fact that I think Nicolas plays Magic for a couple of years, so it's not like he's playing it for 10+ years. So he might not have all the text box in mind,
Yeah, but he's playing an updated template of the card, and that implies that he has the card in his deck without ever having read it properly, right?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he was just testing it.
It
I
also
think
doesn't
I think this is
happen
just
too often.
it's an honest like false recall of the card. I think it's not an attempt to cheat here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't
Because you
think it's
could
an attempt to
just easily have in
cheat.
mind, okay, show and tell just lets us put
A
put
permanent
a
into play.
permanent into play. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. I would just like the two of us, we instantly see, like I think it was basically in sync that we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
like, an Oko? Oh, that doesn't work. And that's what I would expect from both players playing at the top 8 after 7 rounds of Magic in a tournament like this.
I get that, yeah.
Yeah. So we have rewound to the state in the game we were at before.
Yeah, then that's what I was talking about. So of course he has the show and tell for free, and now we have a dinosaur instead, which not necessarily better. But now he also has the information of what's coming next.
I mean, he managed to, like Jeremy managed to now have the setup to pay for his pack trigger unobstructed and have a Nadu in play and with a Sylvan Safekeeper. So unless we see a board wipe, are the judges making him take the turn again? Like take the same sequence of plays?
I don't know. War, we always point out that players might be tired and it's a semifinals already and stuff. I get that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we totally get that. And my criticism is absolutely not of the play in that regard. It's more of a like I get being tired and making mistakes, but the show and tell putting planeswalkers into play is something that if
It's
you've read the
about
card, you know it
yeah,
doesn't
you
work.
know the card.
Yeah.
You should know the card when you play the card, and
It's but when you're when you've been playing Magic for like such a long time on it, like in a single day, you sometimes think, okay, well, it's probably over. There's probably not much I can do, and then he just concedes. Especially with Jeremy being at 20 life in that situation, very unlikely. Okay, we are probably going to see a bolt the bird situation happen. By thought seizing Birds of Paradise. Never mind, he has a different answer for the Birds of Paradise. Therefore, we will probably see the Razorverge Thicket played and the Birds of Paradise played.
I mean the opposition agent is quite dangerous, right? With all the with the overall amount of tutors.
True. True.
Profane tutor. Ah, that's the reason to get rid of opposition agent. I see that.
Yeah. Tapped land and Thrasios.
We see a grist, verdant catacombs. And what is the last card?
Not sure.
The bottom one
I will also be
seems
right
to be a
back.
blue one. Is it a brainstorm? Interesting. Neoforming into open mana is always a bit. And now necromancy on the opposition agent. That's absolutely awkward. Wow. You don't want that to happen. Samuel is not impressed. Oh, he's currently muted. Okay. Judge call. Oh, the last card might be a Boseiju. Okay, the last card was a mental misstep, which does not help. Uno reverse card right there. That's true. Very true. It would be very funny if Nicolas also features the Nadu combo.
I am back. Ooh, we see that is very cool.
That's very cool. We have a Neoform into Thrasios and an instant speed opposition agent.
Yeah. Which means it doesn't stay around
But
to
it doesn't matter.
interfere with more tutors, but this is a very big tempo setback.
Yeah. And
So
you're losing Nadu. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing.
also losing Nadu. Yeah, so he has to try to win with infinite mana
Finally,
from either the what's it called?
Devoted Root or
Yeah,
Devoted
from
Root or
Devoted
from the
Swift
Squirrel.
or with or Squirrel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not that unrealistic.
Yeah, that's right.
Have we figured out what the card in the graveyard in the hand
It's a mental
between
misstep.
the planes?
Mental misstep.
Ah, okay.
I think Nadu is well seated in exile.
Yeah, I don't think these decks play Rift Sweeper or Pull from Eternity either, so it's gonna stay there.
True. Pull from Eternity. That's wild.
Is the white one, and the green one that puts it on the bottom of your library is Rift Sweeper.
Do you know that the commander rules back then were changed due to Rift Sweeper? Because back then
Yeah.
there was no separate command zone.
Yeah,
It
you
was
just had them in exile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a very cool mental misstep. It's pretty
You think
expensive
so?
though, if I remember correctly. Yeah,
I
I
think
like
it's
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, mental misstep is incredibly expensive
Too
like
abstract for me.
as a card though.
I'd rather have this one. And it's you can't pay 6,000 euros for one card.
Absolutely. I mean, you can, but we are not going to.
Yeah.
That is like either pimping a mental misstep or pimping your whole lad base to blackboarded.
Not quite, but almost.
Or if
Pimping,
you sell
pimp,
the
if you sell the whiteboard ones,
the,
then
the
you
rift.
might. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I think like currently the blackboarded land base costs around 10,000 euros. Checked recently. Volcanic
Yeah.
and Underground Sea being the most expensive ones. Ban?
We see 3/3 token copies of
Probably the mortuary. I can't really tell.
yeah,
I can't
probably.
read. Ban Flash. Okay. Yeah, Flash is a really good card. Abrupt Decay, the Barrowgrove. Amazing. This game is not going anywhere.
Not sure if I would have attacked with any of the 3/3s in this situation.
I think he made 2 tokens of the mortuary. Oh, you mean like, okay.
Yeah, well,
No, I get your
they're
point.
still
Yeah.
3/3 flying creatures.
Yeah. For all the non-francophones, vol means flying. I'm very sure I pronounced it terribly. Astral Dragon is a card that the more I play against it, the more I value it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think on paper it looks pretty, it's not bad, but mediocre compared to what other reanimation targets can bring up these days.
Yeah.
But whenever your opponent makes 2 Undercity Zero tokens and stuff like this, creating a total of 10 power and having some card selection, that's definitely.
Yeah, card selection, and also suddenly they're at a lot more mana than they were the turn before,
Yeah.
and
They get
can
in
start
range to
hardcasting
hard
stuff.
casting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That is like, if you think about it in a it's a bit like playing a Primeval Titan for that flies,
Yeah.
which sounds pretty good. It costs more mana to hardcast, which is going to happen quite a lot less.
If it copies planeswalkers, they would immediately die, right? Because they have no loyalty. And if the planeswalker has no loyalty, it's
I'm pretty sure when you
ceases to
copy a
exist.
planeswalker, you're putting a copy of the permanent, and the permanent comes with the uh with the loyalty counters. Like that's part of the permanent. It is. Except you're only getting one of those planeswalkers because they're legendary.
That's true.
So I think I've done that before. I think I've done that before by copying my own Aminatu with Astral Dragon to put a new Aminatu in play, which then flickers the Astral Dragon to make another token. I think that works.
Yeah, it does. It does. I just checked it. That's crazy. So since it's a creature, since it's a planeswalker, the token can be attacked. But since it's a creature, it can block
Itself.
itself for itself. Yeah,
Block for itself.
that's
That's
kind of weird.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's the one of those rare occasions where MTG becomes a bit like Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Where you also can attack different monsters, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Apart from that, I have absolutely no stocks in Yu-Gi-Oh. Lawrence Ransom. Back to the game. There's not much happening, to be fair.
Yeah, so we might see an attack for 9 in the air again this turn,
Yeah.
which would put Jeremy at 1. We see the wagging of the finger. Not sure what that meant.
He's looking at the cards. Seems to be hard to accept that there is little to no out to this situation. Yeah, it was that was to be expected. Okay, that's why he's looking at the card. Okay, that's awkward. That's really awkward.
What's the card on the left?
What do you mean? The DT? It's a demonic tutor.
Oh, it's a different artwork again.
Yeah, of course. They're all playing different artworks. I mean, demonic tutor has like. Let me check.
Yeah, has plenty of artworks.
Demonic tutor has currently. Give me a guess.
How many artworks does Demonic Tutor have?
Yes.
8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay, 8 different artworks could be close. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, actually. You missed one.
Okay. Pretty
But we
close.
have 26 different prints. 24, actually. If I don't. 23, if I don't take into account the MTGO prints. So the DT could search for collective brutality? I don't know.
I'm counting 8 artworks on MKM. Unless you count the artwork where the pentagram is removed from the forehead on the OG version.
Wait. But is there a version with the pentagram? Ah, yeah, right, on
If
the
you look at the
helmet.
Summer
Right.
Magic artwork.
Right. Yeah, it was actually, yeah, you're right. But did I take into account the full art? Yeah. So 8 is correct. But we do 9 because of the sign, and also because otherwise I would be wrong. But I was actually asking for prints, not versions. So
Well, that's like the teacher. That's like the teacher going back and changing the exam question
yeah,
after everyone's
exactly.
already taken the exam. That's not fair.
That sounds fair to me. So the bird taking away some damage. I think there is no
And Summer
draw.
Magic still has there's still a pentagram on the chest. There's just not one on the forehead.
That is true. But it's like
This demon has a lot of pentagrams.
hidden.
Yeah.
Or like
It's where the sensors can't
70%. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at this game. I am not seeing a way out. We saw Thrasios flip a Gataxian Pro, it seems like.
Which she can cast, and then
And now both for Jeremy is a very deep thought. But it looks like Glarb will be taking this.
oh, is it a devoted druid here?
Where?
Maybe.
in the hand.
Yeah, maybe the bird was necessary for this line.
Did he block with the bird?
Yeah,
I don't see a reason to block with the bird
me neither.
in these kind of situations.
Hawkish Bowmaster.
Oh, well,
Oh, it's an
we went to
Arbor Elf.
1.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a
Survival.
survival, and he shows his hand. There we go.